Okay, so we have common six person competitive. Looks like I'm playing soldier, but I'm actually gonna end up switching to Reinhardt. You'll see in a few seconds. We have a decent comp. We have a soldier, sorry, not soldier. We have a roadhog, Symmetra, Reinhardt because they were going many DPS, so best to change if nobody else is going to. And so we just have a Mercy as our healer. And so right now I'm just trying to not convince, but I'm trying to tell people like, hey, you should probably join the team chat so that we can actually communicate, because that is quite important when you're playing competitive. Just keep that in mind, guys. So we're going to be seeing some Gold League play. Obviously not the best play, nowhere near it, but some pretty entertaining play, some interesting plays and choices, definitely. But the round's about to start in about 4 seconds, and you'll see their composition, and you'll see how we react to that composition. So they have an Orisa coming out the gate. So far, all I see is the Soldier, the Orisa. I just now noticed the Torb, and then out of nowhere, I see a Reinhardt. And I was like, whoa, they have a Reinhardt now. And I was freaked out by that. Unfortunately, the healers and all of us were all spread out. We had a really bad engagement there. Our Symmetra got a kill, but in this situation, it really didn't matter since we weren't grouped up. We weren't really killing anyone. We weren't really focused on the cart, like the objective itself, which is what you really want to be working on. So, I'm going out. That's a wasted fire strike there. Really pretty bad charge. Yeah, the tank goes down. That was kind of lucky, though. So now's the time where we're really able to start pushing. That Torb turret needs to be going down. That's kind of the DPS's job is when it's at that spot. Torb comes in, they just ult us out, and we really can't do anything. Genji just gets picked off by that last turret right there. But so right now we can see they've used the Mercy, they used the Torb ult. So you can kind of just see what's going on now. So they're kind of wasting their ults. Well, not wasting, but they're using them right now, which means they won't have them for our next push. So as you can see here, that I'm going in. I probably should have waited for my team, because that was not necessarily the best. We only had the Roadhog. It's a pretty good ult there. The Reinhardt's kind of low. He's about to go down, though, because he's in the wrong area. Roadhog ults him. So now we're pushing the cart, so that's a lot better. Rizzo wastes her ult, really. That wasn't really the best time to ult. That turret's still up, though, and that's target prioritization is really important when you're playing when you're playing competitive. And our DPS aren't really focused on killing that turret, keeping Torb contained. It's really helpful. It does a lot. So Reinhardt's coming in to try to hold the point by himself, which you'll see is not the best idea, because then you're kind of just taking free damage. I go in, I charge the Ryan, I'm able to kill him. This is where I should have gotten out, right here. Yeah, I'm killing the Orisa. Mercy did come to save me. If she hadn't come to save me, I would have died, so that would have been really bad. So I got lucky there. In the future, probably get out of there, not to try to conflict. We do get the point, so that's good. My ult is ready. Meanwhile, we have Mercy, who probably has res. I haven't hit tab. There we go. So we can see the ults. And we have some good communication, slightly. I've noticed that in competitive, usually only about half the team ever talks. You don't really get all 6 people talking, which is really sad, because competitive communication can win you the game. It's like just straight up communication can be the reason why you win a game. So yeah, it is sad to see that only half the people in comp usually use their voice chat. Meanwhile, we have an ult here. Pretty decent ult. My team followed up, so it works really well. We got the picks, and it's going pretty well. The turret is still up there, though, and that's a problem. That soldier, I got really lucky, because I almost left my team to hang dry, so I got really lucky there. Usually you want to stay on the cart. Then McCree kind of wasted his ult, though, so that wasn't really the best. But Genji's going in, kills the Mercy. We shouldn't be pushing in front of the cart. I mean, it's not too bad of an idea. That was really lucky timing. We were able to kill the Reinhardt. He does get 2 of my team members, though, so it's not good. He does go down, though, so it's okay. Meanwhile, we get the Mercy res, so that's good. I try to block the turret so McCree can get it. There it is. Now we're pushing the cart. We have the second point, and now we have the momentum. And this is where it really is important. You don't want to lose momentum. If you lose momentum, you're kind of screwed. And by kind of, I mean you're really screwed, because the momentum is what wins you this game. And that's really what's been pushing us, because we were starting off really poorly for the first point. Got the first point, pushed through, did really well. Really, the only other thing to comment on is just placement. Our team, I'm not really blocking anyone. My shield is really just blocking myself. You can see here, really, I mean, that's a good charge right there. But just the blocking aspect, you want to make sure, I mean, and it's not all Reinhardt's under his control. You want to make sure that you're blocking damage from your team. You don't want to just have your shield up taking damage, and then when you actually need it, it's already at half health. You want to make sure you keep it as high as possible. A really good push so far. Very good round. Not the best ult there, especially since Mercy was right there, but that's not a good charge either. Should have been on point trying to take it. But in the end, it won't really matter because we will be able to take the point. So that's good. But it's just a lot of aggression going on. And for Reinhardt players, you want to make sure that, and anybody interested in playing Reinhardt, you want to make sure that if you're going to be aggressive, your team is behind you. If you're aggressive and you just go in there, you're just being suicidal, you're dying, so then you make it a 5v6. Reinhardt's really crucial. You don't really know, he's one of those characters that you don't really know how important he is until he's gone. And what I mean by this is, as soon as, if I die, my team has nothing to shield it, so they can get destroyed by an ult or something like that. So just want to make sure that you're careful with that when you play Reinhardt. If you're going to charge in, again, make sure your team is either behind you or they're ulting from afar or something like that. Just something that's following up. You want to make sure that if you're going to charge in, somebody's following up with you, whether it's the healer or other DPS, something like that. Otherwise, again, you're just going to get destroyed and then you're going to lose your momentum. Which is why it's very important as Reinhardt not to try to die. If you look, I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, I have like 8 or something like that. I have quite a few deaths. Most of those were from the very beginning, though, so that's just kind of showing you how much better we got along the way. But yes, it's very important to try not to die as Reinhardt, and that's something that it's good to work on, because when your healers are like saying, "Hey, Reinhardt, come back," then obviously they're saying it for a good reason, because they can't see you. So here I am. I'm just adjusting my sound in game because I was a little loud, as I usually am. Because I try to. Reinhardt's one of those characters where he doesn't take a lot of skill. He just doesn't. He's a medium skill. I think that Overwatch kind of underrates him a little bit. It takes a little bit of skill to play him, not aiming wise or something like that, but game sense wise. You want to make sure that you're on point. You want to be able to call out when people are coming, call out your shield, call out your fire strikes, all kinds of stuff you have to do that people don't do, and they're not really sure why Reinhardt's like. I mean, he's a lot harder than you think. So here we are defending. I'm standing in the spot you kind of want to be in, just so that you can drop down on top of them. The only problem is they have a Bastion and a Winston. So this Winston distracts us from getting to the Bastion, who can just pick us off one by one. The reason why I charged there was because I wanted to get past the Bastion as soon as possible. I was also trying to kill the Winston, so either one of those works. We had a good job with the Zenyatta calling out the discords. I go down, and this is where they can start to push. Because our spawn is further away, they can just push right in. So we have to be. That's why you don't want to die as Reinhardt. So that happened. I'm not really because as Reinhardt, you don't want to be too aggressive, especially on defense. You want to kind of bait out the other Reinhardt or whatever else, like other tanks. You kind of want to get them to come in so your team can take them out. The thing that requires is a team to be able to focus fire. Focus fire is very important in competitive because it allows you to get a pick and move on to the next target. If you just focus there and you just start hitting everyone just to get damage / ult charge, you're not going to do as well. So my ultimate's just now ready after about, what, 3 minutes or so in, which is not good. Something you want to make sure you're getting your ult charge, because you want to make sure you're getting the kills to get your ult charge, not the damage. That's why medals, and I'll make a video on that about medals and why they're not important at all. Sorry, not at all, but why they're not as important as people might think. But yeah, so don't worry about the damage. Medal is really not as important as you guys might think. I'll go into more detail on that. I'll try to leave a link or something. Just try to look for that video. If you hit the subscribe button, you'll see when it comes out. But yeah, so the Winston's on our healers. We gotta make sure we're taking him out. The problem is our aim was a little off with the Zen and all that, so that Mercy ended up dying, which is actually quite crucial. Fortunately, though, somehow Roadhog and Soldier were able to clear out the objective, and we were able to take it back, stopping their momentum and continuing on. So they have the Farah. She's doing a good amount of damage, but she's not killing as many people as she could be. Reinhardt came in by himself and missed the charge there because that's something I need to start figuring out. But I keep hitting. I have to hit the tilde or whatever. Yeah, the tilde when I go to speak because I don't want to have it on open mic. So it ends up I can't use my turn left button, my A. So I need to work on that. But we got the pick on the Farah finally. Zenyatta's doing pretty well getting her, even though Soldier should also be helping with that. I don't know if he was or wasn't, but oh well. So Winston goes down, and they're kind of split off, and that's really, you don't want to be in this position right here where you're split off and you're not able to do anything. Bastion's is sitting on the stairs. I'm trying to go for him. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to get him. Again, guys, if you see a Bastion, do not go, oh, he's standing still. I'm going to charge him. Because you don't have a shield, you don't have a healer on you, most likely, and a healer's not going to really keep you alive to get to the Bastion, because if the Bastion headshots you as you're charging at him, you're dead. Period. You're not really going to survive that. Unless you're being a distraction for somebody else, which still not the best option. Winston's in the back lines now, as you can see. Reinhardt's pushing in with the Bastion there. The Dragon will clear them off the point, so that was actually pretty good ult there. The only problem is now we're kind of just trying to figure out what to do. I ult here. Unfortunately, I don't hit them because they just went behind the barrier. And again, I end up going down there. I was trying to swing too long. I'm trying to be too aggressive, and that's the other thing. You don't want to be too aggressive, especially when they have a Bastion. Because the Bastion's going to just tear down your shield, but at least he won't be tearing you down. And hopefully, people will be targeting the Bastion as your shield is going down so that you're not wasting your shield. Somehow, Roadhog kills Bastion with his ult after he's dead. However that makes sense. But we are able to stop the cart here, and that's actually really crucial because stopping it right before it's at the point is actually quite important because people will, especially in this level, they'll try to be like, oh, it's almost there, let's go on to the point, let's try to push it, but they'll only come in at 2 at a time. That's what creates the stagger effect. And that's what you kind of want you want to make sure that you can try to like initiate a stagger effect on the other team. It doesn't happen as much in higher level games, but in gold, platinum, even in diamond, you can try to bait. You can even bait staggering. What happens with that is if you kill their team and then they've got other teammates trying to come in, if you can pick off those teammates and just kind of like play with them a little bit, not playing with them, but kind of wait out the time before they die to make it so that they have to wait even longer. Their team, that is. You can see if Farah wipes out the Mercy and me, our Roadhog goes down, but we're still kind of even. They do take the point, though. So at this very point, this is where everyone needs to get back, let them get a little bit further in, it's okay. That's another thing that happens in this level, stuff like that. People are like, whoa, we need to get on the point. All the time, that's always the case in any game mode in Overwatch. Everybody's always thinking, we need to get on the point. This is the worst game sense to have. You always need to make sure that you're playing as safe as possible. If you lose the point, that was a good charge there, Ryan goes down. Done. Winston's going to go down most likely as well. He ults there. That's a baited out ult. That was a bad fire strike. I'm not sure what I was doing there. But yes, as I was saying, you want to make sure, whatever I was saying, what was I saying? Yeah, so, yeah, you don't want to be all aggressive trying to get on the cart all the time. It's okay to let the cart go forward a little bit, because what can happen is, if you group up, you can immediately push the cart, use a few, maybe 1 or 2 ults or something like that. You might not even need to use any. That's a really good fire strike right there. But just group up, because grouping up, having a 6 people fight versus 5 people fight is completely different. It might not seem like it, but it is. And so right now, what our DPS and Roadhog are trying to do, they're trying to get a pick, and they get one. What this does is it should force the other team to stay back. Because if the other team is down a person, they can't push in. The problem is we lose a Junkrat, so it's 5v5. Then we get the McCree, 5v4. So we're kind of just trying to keep the picks up so that they can't push in. This is a really good strategy. I suggest you guys try to do it. if you have a flanker or something on your team, Bastion sieges up. I try to get as close as possible. I charge in there. I get the Bastion before he's able to kill me. Even though I die, I got the Bastion. The problem is we lost 2 people in that fight. Roadhog and me. Fortunately, excuse me, I had to yawn right there. Fortunately, Soldier's doing pretty well. Roadhog's back. We're getting it back. But it was just that was not necessarily the cleanest play, I would say. Just try to make that a little bit neater. But they're still not pushing the cart, and that's what we're trying to really. That's as a defender on defense, you want to make sure that you're keeping them off of the pushing the cart too much. It's okay to give them maybe like every time you lose an objective point where like the ticks on the screen, every time you lose one of those, always back up. There's no point trying to be aggressive and push onto the point as they're getting it, or sorry, as soon as they get it, because you're really not doing anything. Their spawn is right there. Your spawn's all the way back now. So you're kind of just throwing yourself away to be taken just alive. You're just, oh, here, kill me. Boom, done. They get a free kill. So in overtime, Winston's going down. Here we have Mercy flies right into me, and I was like, whoa. I have my ult. I go ahead and ult, get the Mercy. Reinhardt got hit too. Mercy's down. Winston's down. Reinhardt's down. And that's the end. Mercy wasn't able to res. That's why you have to always focus her down. And that finishes the game off. So it was a really pretty good game. It was pretty close, but it was still quite good. With an ending score of 3-2. Now, yeah, so just another, like, closing tips. Just make sure for Reinhardt, if you're going to play Reinhardt, always be defensive before you're aggressive. Make sure that it's okay with your team to go in and charge in. As you can see, I got the play of the game here. Pretty impressive. But yes, make sure that you're always being safe. Get the okay from your healers and your DPS. Make sure that they're with you before you charge in so that you don't just die and make it a 5v6, because that will not go well. So, that's all I have for this video. Let me know how you guys like this. This is episode 1 of the replay review for the RNR, whatever you guys want to call it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. Subscribe to get the next video when it comes out. Subscribe to see all the other ones that are coming out soon. Leave a like down below if you liked it. And thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Ash Dessert out.